Hey there folks, and good morning, and welcome back to another weekend shave. And today we're going to use Saponificio Varesino Cosmo, and this comes in a very nice container. As you can see, the scent on this is very difficult for me to describe, and I can't. There's something sweet in there, but it's also there's so much going on, I can't explain it. So if you want to know how the scent is on this, go to Saponificio Varesino and check out their scent pyramid where they describe it. This is a hard soap we've already preloaded just to save a little time. Scent on this is nice. It's not my favorite of the Saponificio Varesino line. That one is the Aromatic Fern. It's my personal favorite. But this one is nice. I just can't describe it. Scent strength is about, I want to say about a 5. Somewhere in that range. Very nice container, as I said. Let's go ahead and wet the face and get going. Stay tuned. All right. So let's see how it goes. I've had very good luck with Saponificio Varesino soaps. I find them to be of very good quality. Some people don't care for them, but personally, I like them a lot. And I think they are a fine quality of soap. Of course, Italian, which I like. They are priced, above what a lot of the artisan products are, but not extreme. So still relatively affordable, which again, I like. When a software gets to a certain level, Martin DeCandre is about as much as I'll go. Any more than that, and it starts to be a little extreme. But Saponificio Varesino doesn't hit that mark in cost. It remains a little below that. Again, this is a hard soap, by the way. Let me add a little water here. Get up the stack. Personally, I think it's a good performer, and I enjoy it. It's been a while since I've used it, and this is the first time I've used this particular soap. Got it from Shave Revolution, Justin's shop. And if you haven't checked Shave Revolution out, I recommend you do. Very, very good guy. You can buy there with confidence, both in customer service and for the fact you're dealing with a good and reputable person. All right. So today we're going to go with the General. We're finished using the Above the Tie Bamboo SE1 for now. And so I wanted to bring the General back out and see how we do now with the General after having used the Above the Tie Bamboo SE1 for a week. Let's see how the General performs. And let's get our mirror. Let's get this brush out of the way and get our mirror back into play here so I can see what the heck is going on. Saturday morning, and I'm glad the weekend is here. Yeah, that feels nice. The General is not quite as aggressive or efficient as the Above the Tie Bamboo, but I gotta tell you, as I've said so many times, having used this a lot, this is a really good shaver, and I really enjoy it too. It's much lighter. I'm using it on a, this is actually an Icon bamboo handle that is coated with Razor Rock. I think it calls it Uberglide. It's a really good coating. I like to add a little weight in the handle just to give the razor a little more weight, but I use it with the aluminum handle as well. Works well either way, but I'm a sucker for adding a little bit of weight. And I gotta tell you, even though I really love that Above the Tie Bamboo, I'm still loving the General too. So there's going to be room for both of these, which I've paid for in my arsenal. Keepers both. So if you have the money and it's in your budget, I recommend that you pick up both if you're looking for solid single edge shavers, and hold the Colonial where for days where you're looking for a lighter, more forgiving shave, and then going up to the Above the Tie when you're looking for a little more oomph. All right, stay tuned for pass 2. First pass was very good. The soap performed well. Again, this is an odd soap in scent, and I wish I could describe it to you, but I can't. It's just one of those soaps that I'm just having a great deal of difficulty describing without looking at the scent pyramid. And as you guys know, when I buy soap, I'll initially look at how the scent is described, and I won't look at it again because I want to sort of give you my true feelings about it. And this one is difficult to describe. There's almost something powdery in there. There's something sweet. There's a little bit of citrus. I mean, it's complex, to say the least. It's a nice scent. I don't know how to describe it. It's one of those that I can't really get a handle on. So you'll have to go to Saponificio Varesino and see how it's described there, and look at that scent pyramid that they put out, or go to Shave Revolution where they sell it. The nose there. Don't intend on shaving up that far. Very difficult soap to describe, but performance was on point, as I expect from Saponificio Varesino. Nice Italian soap. Good stuff, in my opinion. All right. Let's get on with pass number 2, where we'll go across the grain on the cheeks here. Very nice. The general has not fallen out of favor, folks, with me. Very nice. Loving it. Excellent. Saturday's a good day for a mild shave. Don't have to go to work. So, we can just get a mild, comfortable shave, and that is great. Still doing well. The weather has been really rainy still. It's supposed to start raining again here shortly. The temperature's supposed to drop, and they're calling for some lows like in the 30s, like 36, 35. What the heck? This is middle of May. Jeez, give me some sunshine, will you please? Lord of the weather, I need sunshine. Man, the sun will come out and you'll get a little bit of sunshine, like for half a day, and then here comes the rain. I'm like, me. It's less than desirable, but it could be worse, I guess. So we'll try to remain happy with it, and have to do something inside, I guess. But I really prefer to get outside on the weekends if I can and do stuff outside. All right. Second pass, again, great. Stay tuned for pass 3. So for the critics of Saponificio Varesino, I'm not sure what's missing. Maybe they're talking about the post. But in terms of how this shave is performing right now, when you consider the cost, the scent, the quality, I think it's a good soap for the money. And I'm not missing anything right now during this shave. Maybe they are speaking strictly of the post. To be honest, I can't recall what kind of post this gives, but post is not a deal killer for me if it doesn't provide a super soft face. It's not a deal killer. My Thayer's tends to help with that, and some of my aftershaves. But I do appreciate a nice post, but it's not a deal killer. If it dried out my face and it was just terrible, yeah, that would be a problem. But this is not the case. And I'm not saying Saponificio Varesino has a poor post, because I think it's a good soap. But I'm telling you right now, the performance that I'm getting during the shave is very good. So I don't know what people think is lacking about it. It's working very well for me. So just my thought on that. And again, we're rolling with the General by Colonial razors, which continues to be very good for me. So even after using the above the tie, still enjoying. So this is very pleasing for me, because I didn't know how it would feel when I went back to the General, but I like it. So my thoughts remain consistent on the General. Still a very nice shaver. Works very, very well for me. Definitely a little less efficient than the above the tie bamboo, but Not so much so that I can't get a good shave with it. Close, comfortable, which is what I'm looking for. I'm not one of those guys that obsesses on BBS. I just want it to be smooth, comfortable, and, you know, relatively close. And if I hit that mark, and I don't have any cuts, weepers, creepers, you know, irritation, I'm happy with it, because I think we all remember the days before we started DE shaving and the trouble that many of us had with cart razors and the crap gel and all the rest of it. So I really appreciate it when I get a good shave without having to deal with all the stuff we used to have to deal with cart razors. And a lot of people ask me about the one blade, and I don't have any interest in the one blade simply because it might be a great razor. I don't like the cost. I don't like, and if you look at the accessories they sell, they are way out of whack. Look at like they have a little travel pack. It's just, and I know you can get blades elsewhere, but if you get blades from them, it's like a $30 subscription for $30 blades. Hell, I can buy 300 Astra SP for $30, and that's, even if I only use it 3 times, that's 900 shaves versus a month. That concept and the cost is a little off-putting to me, and you know that I'm not afraid to spend money. But that is so steep, and having to use those proprietary blades, which I think, you know, people have outfitted other blades to use with it, but it just kind of turns me off. And that pivot, I don't need pivot. If I need to pivot, you know, my hand will do that. I don't really need to have, to me, when you start, you know, having that flexing and all, you're going back to the Gillette cart razors with all the flex. I don't need all of that. Next thing you know, they're going to put a protective strip on it like Gillette does now. I don't need all that. I do just fine with this, and my hand can do whatever flexing I need to do. And I've got a wonderful shave without the assistance of any mechanical flexing. I don't need it. Don't want it. I've got a great shave from the General, and it's fixed. So if I need to go around my chin, it's no problem for me to let the razor. I really don't even have to bend my hand much. The razor will sort of follow that contour without a lot of intervention, so I don't need all that garbage. Maybe the best shaver ever. I'm not saying it's not, because I haven't used it. But the way it's marketed as, you know, the best ever, and they declare it absolutely, I just don't care for that. Now, I don't blame them, because if you're a company, now you should be confident. Let me go ahead and rinse my face and continue to talk to you. Pardon the water here. I don't blame them, but I think we know that when anyone declares absolutely that this is the hands down the best shaver of the world, best shaver of all time, it's likely not to be. Now, for some, it clearly will be, and that's okay. I'm not downing it or saying that those people are wrong at all, because for them, it probably is the best shaver of all time. But I'm just not interested in a gadget type situation. I don't even like the double-headed concept that Icon does. I've tried it. It lends itself to uneven blade use. You've got to figure out how you're going to use the blade to keep it even. I just don't care for it. I'm a little more traditional when it comes to the razor, because they work perfectly for me. So it's hard for me to improve on what I'm getting right now with this. And that's just my feelings on that. All right, let me rinse a little more, and then we'll get the figures. Okay, enough babble on the what's it called? One blade. It probably is an excellent blade. It looks great. I mean, I got to give it props. It looks elegant. Go and check out the accessories that they sell. Like, it's like, it is way, 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 way overpriced. And look at some of the marketing, and like, you know, some other companies do this too. And I'm sort of into buying products from people who are one of us. And what I mean by that are they're interested in, you know, the traditional type shaving. They're one of us. They're part of the community, which is why I take great pride in buying the razors like the Colonial Razor General and Razor Rock, for example, or the Stirling brush. They're one of us. They're in this community. The bottom line for them, of course, is money, but they're also part of the community, and that's a big part of what they do. And I know some will argue, well, they're in the community because of making money. Maybe so, but they're still one of us. They're one of ours. The Evans brothers who made the Colonial Razor, they were just regular shavers. And I'm sure Joe was too before he got into the business, from Razor Rock, and Rod from Stirling, who's a veteran. So I'm interested in buying, when I can, from people who are, one of us. Now, when you're buying mass products, you don't have a clue, and I understand that, and I do own some mass-produced products. But when it comes to hardware, if something is very expensive, and I get the feeling that they're not one of us, I just don't. I want to spend my money sort of as much as possible within the community. So when I pluck down my $185 from Stan from Above the Tie, he's one of us. Joe's one of us. Rod is one of us. But I see some of these other guys, and I get the distinct notion that their bottom line is just about money. And, when they say things like, oh, I don't have enough of you, I saw an interview with a company that I'm not going to mention, and one of the guys was being interviewed, and they were asking if they would make a single edge razor. I don't know if would be financially feasible for us, or if there's enough interest. And just a few people asking for it on Facebook is not enough. And I'm like, these guys don't get it. And then I saw another comment, and it was about, oh, we sort of hang in Reddit because there's more users. Clearly, they're not really one of us. And so I chose to not do business with that company anymore. Not that everyone else shouldn't. It told me right then, that's really not who I want to give my money to. Now, they were very nice about, letting me withdraw my money, or because I had ordered something, they gave me a refund. So I really appreciated that. They treated me well. But when I get the notion that you're sort of not in it for the same reasons that many of us are, or at least you don't enjoy that part of it, or you're looking for something completely else. And I understand things evolve. People are going to naturally want to convert cart users. I do get that, but I just want to give my money to guys like Kyle and Kirk and Kyle from General Razors, and Stan from Above the Tie. Those are just my thoughts. Rod from Stirling, Joe, I could go on and on and on. Justin from Shave Revolution. It just makes me feel better. It makes me feel like, you're sort of keeping it within the family, so to speak. And I know I went on a rant there, but didn't really intend to. But anyway, the shave today was outstanding. The Colonial Razor General, once again, hitting the spot. And I deliberately used it today because I wanted to follow up that Above the Tie, which is fabulous. This guy's good too, very good. So it will come at a much cheaper price. So I say if you can, and you want to, if you're interested, get both. The Saponificio Varesino Cosmo was very, very good as well. Again, I don't know what people complain about with this brand. I've seen some people who I respect saying that it was very overrated, and I mean, it works just fine, and it's not nearly the cost of some of the other premium soaps. Good old-fashioned Clubman is hard to beat. As you know, it's great stuff. And our old Kong brush from our buddies, Rod and Mandy from Stirling. Great people. Check them out. All right, guys. Thanks as always. Hope you guys have a beautiful Saturday. And remember, as always, keep them up, keep them open, and follow the money to get to the truth.